On September 9th, 1970, women across the nation cheered as a 30-year-old named Mary Richards packs her bags, leaves her beau, and moves to Minneapolis.
She had to start life all over again. No friends, just beginning on her own.
Girl, this time you're all alone.
With the toss of a hat, Mary Richards has arrived. But just prior to the premiere, the show is headed for trouble.
Initially, the people creating the show wanted to make her a divorced woman who was starting life over and going to work in a small newsroom.
And CBS had trouble with the divorce part of it.
She must have divorced Rob Petrie. Who's going to like that?
They said things like, they'll think she divorced Dick Van Dyke.
So instead, they make it as if she had been in a long-time relationship, sort of was dumped, and as it turned out, it was genius because she became the unwitting, not unwilling, but unwitting icon for an entire women's movement.
You know what? You got spunk.
Well,
I hate spunk.
Mary Richards and the Gang, a casting agent's dream, but in 1970, a test audience's nightmare.
They were concerned about sort of the ethnicity of the characters, like Rhoda and Lou. Was Rhoda too caustic Jewish?
you out!
Was Lou too gruff a boss?
You don't like me? I'll fire you.
And what about this newscaster? Newscasters can't be stupid.
You haven't met me. I'm Ted Baxter, the anchor man.
Not only is the casting a problem, but 1 week before the show debuts, the run-throughs are a fiasco.
Nothing worked. No, the jokes worked and people weren't hitting their marks, and it just was a disaster.
Terrified of yet another career flop, Mary turns to her husband.
Mary and I went home, and Mary was crying. She was really distressed about this about to be failure. She said, you have to do something. I picked up the phone and I said to him, listen, guys, fix it.
Mind some company. Want one?
Oh, no, thank you.
I said I wouldn't mind some company.
Well, all right, I'll have a brandy Alexander.
It was absolutely perfect. And nobody could ever figure out why my fix-it had results.
America will soon fall in love with the show and the cast with each other, as you can see in these outtakes.
6005, Mary Tyler Moore, able to take one.
More as a boss who's tough, yes, more loves that hackney stuff, cause more knows what viewers go for, else what would they watch her show for?
I would be hard-pressed to think of any show family closer to each other. I mean, it was just a wonderful group of people. There wasn't a lemon in the crowd.
I think I love you. I think I love you.
By 1974, Mary seems to have it all. MTM Enterprises, grossing more than $24 million a year, will prove to be a powerhouse, producing spin-offs and hits like Kill Street Blues, WKRP in Cincinnati, The Bob Newhart Show, and St. Elsewhere. But the business of television doesn't interest Mary. It's the family.
They instilled closeness on the part of everybody involved. We were bonded immediately.
Oh, such a family, such a good family. And it all stemmed from Mary herself.
Yes, it was a family. And yes, they were my best friends.
Tyler Moore Show is in its 6th season, and this episode makes comedy history.
Ladies and gentlemen, sad news. One of our most beloved entertainers and close personal friend of mine is dead.
Chuckles Bites the Dust is at the top of the list of perfect comedy episodes. It is just genius from start to finish.
There was always some deeper meaning to whatever Chuckles did.
The episode Chuckles, the clown, is thought to be the funniest, perhaps, that they ever did. They go to the funeral, everybody is very sedate and proper and sad, and she gets the giggles.
A little song, a little seltzer, darling.
That was a breakthrough to laugh at a funeral.
Laugh for Chuckles.
For 7 years, viewers have a love affair with Mary Richards. The show garners 29 Emmys, a record that still stands today. But after 168 Saturday nights, the cast braces itself for the last show.
We did pretty well until Lou Grant said, "I treasure you people."
I treasure you people.
It was just like the waterworks turned on with everybody.
Every time you see that final episode, your heart goes out. You don't want it to be over. And as they're in their group hug, and they shuffle over in their group hug, grab the Kleenex, I mean, it's a great piece of comic business that's also so real.
Actually, that happened as an ad lib. But when we did it, then they wrote it in. But we just couldn't even let go of each other long enough to get to the Kleenex box.
In 1977, Mary and her colleagues say, once again, it's good to go out on top. But not everyone believes her.
Personally, I'm sure inside that she was quaking at the thought that she'll never have it that good again. And to some extent, she never really did have it that good again, especially on TV.